Brilliant. My name is Sarah. I don't teach a lot of you actually. Some of you I do, some of you I don't. And I'm one of the English language assistants. And today my talk is going to be on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. So St. Patrick's Day, I'm not sure if you know, is on the 17th of March. So it's this Sunday. It's a huge day in Ireland. Unfortunately, I will be here, so I'm going to have to celebrate it here. And it's known as like the best day of the year for most Irish people. It's a huge day of celebration. Can you hear me all okay? Or okay. Do you understand me okay? Yeah? Okay. So I'm just going to start then. I think everybody's here. And I'm wearing my top that I wear every year for St. Patrick's Day. So this is just how I'm going to start. This is one of the famous phrases for St. Patrick's Day and for Ireland. If you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough. So St. Patrick's Day is a day of great patriotism and a day that everybody is really proud and happy to be Irish. As they say, if you're lucky to be Irish, you're very lucky. And I think that's why a lot of Americans who have any kind of Irish roots hold on to them. They say, I'm Irish, even if their great-grandfather had an Irish cousin. They say that they're Irish because it's something that people are very proud of, and it's something that everyone holds on to quite tightly. So I have a quiz for you to do at the end. So I'm going to tell you a lot about this day, how we celebrate it, and try and listen and understand the facts and try to remember them, because afterwards I'm going to see how much you learnt, okay? Also, tell me if you need me to slow down. I know this is for B1, B2, but there is an A2 class here as well, so if you aren't following everything, please ask. Okay? Are you all good? Okay. So I'm going to start with what is St. Patrick's Day. Does anyone know what St. Patrick's Day is exactly? No, well that's why I'm here. So, St. Patrick's Day is the feast day of St. Patrick, like San Mateo here. It is the feast day of St. Patrick. Okay? And St. Patrick is supposed to have died on the 17th of March, which is why we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March. It's a day that you're not Irish if you don't know when St. Patrick's Day is. The 17th of March is firmly written into your calendar for the whole year. It's a big day. So this day is celebrated as a religious and a cultural holiday, as well as a celebration of Ireland itself. So inherently it has religious connotations, but I'm sure a lot of you know St. Patrick's Day as a day for alcohol consumption as well. So there are traditionally religious connotations, oh I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening, religious connotations behind it, and that is kind of the significance of it, because St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland. So whether you're religious or not, you celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I'm sorry, I can go without it if it's not working. So why is this day so important for Irish people? We celebrate it everywhere. In America, Canada and New Zealand, it's celebrated even more so, I think, in America maybe than Ireland. People with a lot of Irish roots go crazy for St. Patrick's Day. So it is very important for people. I also go to university in England, and I make sure that I'm home every single year for St. Patrick's Day. Like, it is the best day of the year. I can't this year because St. Patrick's Day is unfortunately on a Sunday, and I have to work Monday morning. But if I phone in sick on Monday, you know why. So, this day commemorates St. Patrick and the arrival of Christianity in Ireland. So St. Patrick is said to have brought Christianity to Ireland in like 400, in the year 400s. So this celebrates the heritage and the culture of Irish people in general. It is traditionally a religious day, very like San Mateo. Like, it is traditionally religious, but it is also just a week of fiestas. So it's the same with St. Patrick's Day. But it does commemorate his death, St. Patrick, and the arrival of Christianity in Ireland. Okay. So the celebrations on St. Patrick's Day involve many different things. There's a lot of public parades, a lot of festivals. It depends where you are. I'm from Belfast, so I've only ever spent St. Patrick's Day in Belfast with my friends and with my family when I was younger. But if you're in North America, in the United States, they may celebrate it differently. Every different place does different things, but there are usually a lot of parties, a lot of drinking, parades. Everyone wears green, any kind of green, and a shamrock, anything green. Ceilidhs are like typical Irish dancing, and shamrocks as well. Wearing green and shamrocks is the key for St. Patrick's Day. So here are just some photos. So really in the last 4 years, I've just been out with my friends every St. Patrick's Day. You either went into town when you were younger. As you got older, you were going to pubs and bars all day. We start drinking at like 2, and then you're drinking until 2, 3, if you can last that long. But for a lot of families and for communities and organisations, there are parades through Dublin. St. Patrick's Day is amazing. Belfast, we also have big parades, different kind of like Carnival here. Different organisations do different floats. Floats are the big, I don't know what it is in Spanish. The big, what? Yeah. So that everyone has a different thing, and they run around with flags, and people are dressed up, like leprechauns as well. Obviously, Guinness is a huge part of Irish culture as well, so there are other photos to show. But everyone wears green, like, you can't not wear green. It's a great day also to show our culture, so there's a lot of Irish dancing involved. Children really cooperate as well. My sisters are young, so they would always go to the parade, or they would go to Downpatrick, which is near Belfast, where St. Patrick is said to have died. So there's parades all through that town as well. So it's really a day for all the family. Older people are maybe drinking all day, but younger people are engaging in a lot of different activities, and it is just a huge day for everyone. In Belfast, we have a vibrant carnival parade all through the city. It begins in the city centre and it makes its way through the city. So behind here you can see that's our city hall. Sometimes we're not lucky and we don't get good weather. For example, this week it's been quite rainy and the weather hasn't been great at home in Belfast, so I don't think St. Patrick's Day will be as great. Last year we all went out to drink and it was raining as well, but some years it's sunny and it's gorgeous and everyone's out in the streets and it's just such a good atmosphere. So it depends, sometimes you can get lucky. But these are some of the people in the parades, and everyone stands along the street and watches it. But the parade starts at like 11 a.m., 12. So if you're up at that time, maybe you go, maybe you don't. And these are some of the floats that go through the city. Again, that's our city hall behind. So the parade is a big thing, and my family always go. In Belfast, there are eye-catching floats. Floats is what I said, carrozas. So there's performers, there'll be Irish dancers, there'll be lots of magnificent costumes, lots of different musicians as well. The Irish are known for their music. We have great music. So there's that, and a lot of local community organisations, which I said as well. You can find St. Patrick, someone dressed up as St. Patrick, pipe bands, dancers, and more travel throughout the city as well. So if you're around Belfast or Dublin, well, this is Belfast I'm talking about, but if you're around Belfast, then you'll see lots of different things. Again, I can only really compare it to San Mateo and the Peñas? Yeah, so there'll be dancers, there'll be music, there'll be everything going around. So it is really, it's only one day, not a whole week, but it is great fun. And traditionally in Belfast as well, there's always a free open air concert in one of the big squares. So when I was younger, we used to go to that a lot. There would sometimes be singers from the X Factor, or not very famous people, it's a free concert, but there'd be like Spider-Man or Minnie Mouse or someone funny as well for the kids. So after the parade, you'd always try to go to the concert. So that was something I used to do when I was younger, and then as I got older, it explains why we drink a lot of alcohol on St. Patrick's Day. Traditionally, why did St. Patrick's Day become a day just to drink? And I know this is an Irish stereotype that we love a good drink, but also there is actually a reason behind it. So Lent usually falls over St. Patrick's Day. Lent is Quaresma. So if there's 40 days of fasting, people usually fasted from alcohol and sweets and everything. So historically, the Lenten restrictions on eating and drinking alcohol were always lifted for St. Patrick's Day. And this encouraged and propagated the holiday's tradition of alcohol consumption. So this was traditionally. For other people who celebrate this, they probably just see it as Irish people like to drink, so why not drink on their day? But this is actually quite interesting, that is why. So really, getting to the real questions about St. Patrick's Day is who actually is St. Patrick? Who was he? What's his story? Where did he come from? A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people in Ireland, young people, probably don't know it as well if you weren't taught it in school. So it is important to know. This is a photo of St. Patrick, although who knew if he actually looks like that or looked like that. He wrote a book said to be written by St. Patrick, so that's the only real source of information that they have about him. So St. Patrick is the patron saint and the national apostle of Ireland. Okay, so he is our symbol of Ireland. Like I said, he is credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland. That is the story behind it. And he was a Christian missionary and a bishop. So there's actually a lot of legends surrounding St. Patrick. As you can see, there's a photo of him with snakes. He's said to have driven the snakes out of Ireland. Although there was no snakes in Ireland, historically archaeologists have found snakes never lived in Ireland. It's an allegory, a metaphor for I think, people who didn't believe in Christianity. So just some background about St. Patrick himself. He was born in Britain of a Romanised family in the second half of the 5th century. Obviously this was so long ago that we don't really know much about him. At the age of 16, he was torn, sorry there's an extra by there. At the age of 16 he was torn by Irish pirates from his father, and he was carried into slavery in Ireland. And he worked as a slave in Ireland for 6 years. He was a shepherd, he looked after animals, he was held captive, and then he escaped to return to his family in Britain. His time in captivity was critical to his spiritual development. Here he said that he is said to have found God. God is said to have appeared to him, or he was given a vocation, and it was during this time that he decided that he wanted to become a missionary and wanted to preach the word of God and preach and convert people to Christianity. So this time Ireland was not Christian. Ireland was very much pagan. He explains in his book that the Lord had mercy on him and forgave him his sins and helped him to convert to Christianity. So then, when he became a priest, he returned to Northern Ireland and the western part of Ireland as a missionary to convert pagan Ireland. So this is why we recognise him for converting people to Christianity. He baptised thousands of people and ordained people to the new Christian communities. As he is such a legendary and important figure, over the thousands of years, legends have continued to grow about St. Patrick. So one of the big legends that I've already told you about is that he drove the snakes out of Ireland. Snakes are never recorded to have inhabited Ireland, but the snakes are, like I said, an allegory for the pagans who opposed Christianity. He also wrote that he raised people from the dead. This is another one of the legends. And this is probably the most popular legend, is that of the shamrock. So this is a shamrock. That is actually a 4-leaf clover. So everyone always uses the emoji or the photos of the 4-leaf clover, thinking it's a shamrock. A shamrock, no. A shamrock has 3 leaves. 3 leaves, okay? So this is one of the biggest legends and one of the biggest symbols of Ireland. So when it's St. Patrick's Day or you're talking about Ireland, people tend to use shamrocks as a symbol. You have shamrock cookies, you have shamrock everything. So this is supposed to have explained the concept of the Holy Trinity, the 3 persons in one God. He explained this to unbelievers in Ireland by using the 3-leaved plant with 1 stalk. So the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Traditionally, now Irish people wear shamrocks, and this is the national flower of Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. So, a little bit about Downpatrick. Downpatrick is about an hour from Belfast, where I live, and this is named actually after St. Patrick, and it's in the south of Belfast, County Down in Northern Ireland, and the cathedral, Down Cathedral, is said to be the burial place of St. Patrick, here. And he's thought to have died in 461. Again, no one really knows. Perhaps he wasn't buried in Downpatrick, but this is said to be where he died. The town is named after him, and his grave is a place of pilgrimage. People will come to visit. That's the visitor centre where you can go and it tells you the story of St. Patrick. I know I've been there on school trips that they take you to tell you a bit about your Irish heritage and culture.